This is Josefa with Combat Feed Media, feeding you with all things combat. I'm joined today again by the silver Commonwealth champion, James
What's up?
Hitman Hawley. James, how are you
What's...
today, sir?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, 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 good. Um, Last time we spoke was in October, straight after your fight with Frankie Davey. How's life been since?
Um, I retired from boxing. I come back to boxing. Um, I've I've not really been doing too much, to be honest. Not really been doing too much. Had a little trip to Thailand, and that's about it.
I remember you had an interview with Box Nation on it was a post on February 1st anyway, and he said, "Yeah, I've just gone back into camp now." And I was like, "Wait, what? You only just got back, oh, just got back training now, not even camp." You said, "I've just got back training now." So there's no training from then from October all the way then.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I didn't want to box anymore. That's the truth. I had my last fight, and I was like, you know what? This boxing game was just full of false promises and rubbish, and it was getting to me, to be honest with you. And I think I've learnt to realise now you can't. You got to take what people say with a pinch of salt. I was told a few things was going to happen after that win, never happened, and I sort of like got myself down about it. Went down the wrong path again a bit. Now, and I've at the end of the day, you've got to just keep winning, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be.
Yeah, definitely. What Sam said about it then when you said to him, "Yeah, I'm not boxing for a bit."
Sam was trying to get me in the gym. Every week I kept saying Monday, Monday, Monday never come. Um, my diet started Monday, just gone yesterday. Um, Everything's going good.
Yeah, that's good. Do you know what? 'Cause you've got a good relationship with Sam Mullins, your coach. How important is that relationship for you in your boxing career?
Do you know what? I've always said this. For me, this sounds very big headed. I'm very naturally talented. Everything I've done is
Yeah.
just from natural talent. It's not from hard work because I'm probably, up until this point, I'm probably the most least hard working fighter on the planet. I don't do anything. Um, but I'm starting to train now. I'm starting to do everything right. And for me, having a coach that you can be friends with is is what you need in boxing. Um, how can I explain this? I wouldn't. Whoever they may say the best coach on the planet is, if I didn't get on with that person or they didn't have anything about them, I wouldn't be able to stay in that gym. It would drive me insane. Do you know what I mean? So I got to have a bit of laugh, bit of banter for me to be able to get through camp. And for me, Sam's perfect.
Definitely. In terms of your last fight with Frankie Davey, I remember when we interviewed, you said, "I'm really the type to just stay on my boxing, don't really get into wars." But you got into a war on that fight. Then about an interview later, I heard you say you didn't like the performance, you didn't like how you performed. Was that
Do you know
disheartening?
what? I'll be honest with you. Maybe I underestimated Frankie a little bit. He was better than I thought he was going to be. Um, I didn't train much for the fight. I was running my own boxing gym. I was getting to my gym at 3 p.m., wasn't getting home till 10. I was absolutely knackered. I was doing one session a day for an hour a day, 5 or 6 days a week. It wasn't enough. I got back to the corner in round two and I said to my coach, I'm fucked. I can't breathe. Um, and he said, no, just stick to your boxing. The first 2 rounds was easy. And I said, no, I can't. I said, I'm fucked. And I felt like I was letting him back into the fight a little bit. And I kept saying, Sam, please let me fight him. Let me fight him, Sam. Because I knew if I had a fight, I could pull it out. Um, but yeah, I learned a lot from that fight. You got to treat every fight like it's a world title fight, and you can't cut corners.
Yeah, I mean, it was your first 10 rounder as well, that fight.
Yeah,
First 10
exactly.
rounders, and you're saying, when you saying that after the second round you were blowing, I bet you were thinking, "Oh, I should have done a bit more in camp. I think
Yeah.
I did a bit more in camp."
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I thought I was going to stop him early doors, so I didn't really train for 10 rounds. But again, that's my fault for underestimating him. And do you know what? We've spoke, and I get on with Frankie now. I'd say he's my friend. Good
Really?
fighter, and yeah, a good fighter, and I look forward to seeing what he does in the future.
Are you friends enough to go out for a drink with him? Or have you done it already?
We did say we was gonna. It's not happened yet. But yeah, from my end, I don't see the problem with it.
We'll see what we can do. We'll see
Like
if we
that, but
can
I'm
get
ready to
something.
rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. What would you change in this camp for your whatever next fight you have? Of course, you have said there's an announcement coming soon. What changes would you make in camp, or would you say that's just up to Sam?
uh, do a bit more training, I suppose. A bit more training, do some running. I never run from my last camp. I think I've done about 2 runs, and actually have a proper diet, and actually be professional for once in my life.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. I just want the announcement now. I feel like the exclusive should come through Combat Feed Media. The people should know it's through Combat Feed Media that James Hawley's next announcement. So, who is it going to be for your next fight and
So
where?
I have just gone to go collect the tickets. Funny enough, we're waiting for the announcement now. By the time this is posted, it will be announced. So we're fighting Ellis Stewart, defending my belt, and there should be another title on the line also. That was the agreement from my end. I was taking the fight as long as there was another belt to win. So as long as they hold up that end of the deal, the fight will be happening on June 13th at York Hall, and I will be headlining again.
Perfect. Ellis Stewart. Tell me about him. Tell me about the fighter.
Um, to be honest with you, I was meant to fight him before. The fight got announced, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't in the right head place. I didn't even want to fight. I've told you I've retired from boxing. They said, "Do you want this fight?" And I was actually out on a night out, and I was like, "Yeah, sweet, I'll have the fight." Next morning, it got announced. I was like, "Fuck, I don't even want to fight." And I was like, "No, listen, I'm not fighting. Like, I'm done." So then they cancelled the fight. I think they got him a new opponent or whatever. But I got a bit bored, and I thought, you know what? I'll come back. Let's rock and roll. Who's on the table? They offered me a few good names, but where I want to do it properly now, I said to myself, if I'm going to come back and I'm going to do this, I've got to do it properly. So I didn't want to jump in at the deep end. I've had some big offers. I didn't want to jump in at the deep end. I wanted to ease back in, get some momentum behind me again, and get ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, well, we heard it here first, guys. Combat Feed Media has said now that James the Hitman Hawley in June against Ellis Stewart at York Hall. York Hall, what a place that is. Like that is literally the mecca of boxing in the UK, at least. What do you reckon?
Nah, do you know what? I like your call. It's nice, compact, loud, good atmosphere. The only thing I don't like is when it is packed, it is absolutely roasting, and I feel
Yeah.
every bit of it when I'm in that ring.
Then every single time I just went, I was the Derek
Oh,
Chisora versus Deontay Wilder weigh-in, and it was so packed. I swear I was dripping, and like to the point where people thought I was crying because of how much water was coming down my face. But
oh.
nah, your call's late, man. I love your call. Okay, cool. 2026. Obviously, you're gonna get this fight out of the way. Hopefully, we get that victory. What's plans for the rest of 2026?
Have this fight. I know there's a court case going on at the minute with Callum Simpson and Troy Williamson. I was told I was going to have the winner in March. Obviously, never happened because of the rematch clause. I'm hoping this court case gets sorted by the time I've had my fight. They have their rematch. Hopefully, either a few belts become vacant and I can get a full Commonwealth for the British, or I'll fight either one of them two. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm not going to overlook this man. I made that mistake last time. And get this win, we move on to bigger and better things.
How crazy would that be? You, as currently ranked 19th in the UK for middleweight, and then straight away, if you were to fight Callum Simpson or Troy Williamson, you'd get straight up to 102. That is insane. So, okay, 2026 is looking good for you, James Hawley. Anything
It
else
is.
to tell the people? Anything else you want to express? Go on, you got a fight coming, whatever you want to say to the people, let them know.
Do you know what? For me, it's hard. I've always done my talking in the ring, and like I know I like to have a little bit of laugh on social media and whatnot. So it's like people are like, you got to talk, you got to sell fights, blah blah blah. You got to do this, you got to do that. For me, I'm just here to do my job, and I do my talking in the ring. Don't get me wrong. If people want to start chatting shit, I'm ready to rock and roll. I'll tell you a funny story actually. Me and Frankie, this God's honest truth. Me and Frankie, I felt like he was disrespecting me a little bit at the time. And I remember we had this head-to-head thing on the sofa, and we were on the way up there. And I said to my trainer, like, Sam, you know, if he says or looks at me the wrong way, I said, I'm going to punch him square in his face there and then. And he's like, no, you can't do that. If you're going to do that, we're turning around now. And I said, no, I'm dead serious, Sam. I said, forget the fight. I said, he's annoyed me that much. I said, I'm ready to attack him. And I walked in like this, like ready to go. And he's like, "You all right, mate? How you doing?" And I was
Oh,
like,
you
"Oh, he's
felt like
being nice
shit.
to me. I can't be horrible to him."
You
You
felt
know
like
what I
shit
mean?
at that point. I think you,
But th- this is the side of things that annoys me at boxing, though. It's like people will talk a lot of shit about somebody, and when it comes to it, it's not on. So um, at this moment in time, I am going to keep completely quiet, and I'm not going to say too much. But I know this kid likes to talk, and if he does start talking rubbish, be ready because it will kick off.
yeah, the clips will come then at that point. Definitely. Okay, cool.
But no,
Um,
other than that, been back training for a week now, getting a bit fitter, losing a bit of weight, and just looking forward to getting back. To be honest with you, um, just me. I've got a sponsor on board, Albi, who sponsors me of AC me throughout my camp. So yeah, a thank you to them, and also a good friend of mine, Ollie, who's got OMD, helping me out. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting cracking, getting back in the ring and doing my thing.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, look, with especially like the way you mentioned people in your team, I guess having a good team for as a boxer is, I'd say, is one of the most important things. It's so underrated having a good team. Would you say with the team you have now, you feel like you can succeed till all the way to the top?
Oh, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. I feel like this is the first time ever since I was 13 to 16, 17 years old when I was at the Fisher with Steve Iser. And listen, I've had many good coaches along the way. I've had probably more coaches, um, but I've never felt this connection since I was with Steve Iser. And I was maybe always a bit stubborn because I always wanted to listen to Steve. The advice Steve gave me, I still to this day I use it.
Mm.
And people say it's a different game to the amateur game, but Steve Iser for me is the greatest of all time. And Sam Mullins also trained with Steve, was taught how to coach by Steve, and I think that's why we get on so well as well. So I think this is the perfect team for me. Obviously, Steve's no longer around no more, but we will do him proud. And I remember there was a I don't know exactly what it was. There was some sort of party at the STC club back in the day. I think Fisher and Union it was. And Steve Iser they said, "Have you got anybody coming through, Steve?" Blah blah blah. And he said, "James Hawley will be a world champion, trust me." And that's the promise I've given him. So I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm not deluded. I've got a long way to go. Um, but I believe me training 100% and knuckling down and doing everything correctly, there isn't anybody that can stop me. Once I'm where I need to be, in and amongst it, I'll show how great I am.
Yeah, the sky's the limit at that point.
Ah, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. It's just biding my time, learning patience, which is a big problem of mine. Trying to be patient, and it will come.
Yeah, definitely. But look, even just with your social media, I feel like we already had a conversation about it off camera. It's like you seem very, even actually right after our interview, the first one we did in October, you like to be, listen, I could talk for England. When it comes to a formal conversation, no, that's not me. I could talk for England though regularly. And even it shows that through your social media as well, the way the way you like rage bait your mum and like there's certain things you do. What was it today? It was like she was telling you she's 38, and you were like, "No, well, if you had me at 38, I'd be 11." It's not. I mean, sorry, you'd be
So,
11 if you had me. Like,
so,
it's good to see your
so,
relationship with your mum.
it's my mum's birthday tomorrow, and she tells everybody she's 38, but she's not. She's born in 1982, so she's either 44 or 45. I'm not too sure. And then she keeps telling everyone she's 38, and I'm like, oh, hold up a minute, that makes you 11 when you have me. And then she's like, "No, you're not really my son. That's why."
Yeah,
Blah.
that's crazy.
but
How
but
important?
she did.
That's one question. How important is family?
Oh, it is. Do you know what? I'll be completely real with you. My mum's stuck with me through a lot. Like she gets on my tits sometimes, and I get on her tits. But if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be boxing. There was a time in my life where no, I couldn't have been stopped what I was doing. And no matter how bad I was doing, the wrong things I was doing, she would always be there to help me. Um, I lost £200,000 gambling. Um, lost £200,000 gambling in about 3 weeks.
How the hell did you do that?
I've got a very addictive personality. Um,
200,000. I don't think that's
yeah,
excusable. 200K in a week in what, 7 days?
in about 2 weeks, it was spaced over 2 weeks. I tell you what I had. So I had a man that sponsored me, and I made a lot of money with him through gambling. And this is a bit of probably I've never really spoke about this actually. I made a lot of money with him through horse racing. He knew when horses was going to win and weren't going to win. They was his horses, so he was sort of playing the game a bit. Made a lot of money with him. And then down the line, I'm a very loyal person, and something happened, which I basically said to him, "Look, this person's taking you for a mug." Bloke. I liked it. He liked yes men around him. He didn't want people telling him any different. And I could see that day something changed in him. And he told me, I trusted this man. I followed him off a cliff. Going back to his horse's anti post, I had 30,000 on one horse, 20,000 on the other horse. So they both run, but both horses are pulled. Like when they pull the horse, they're making it lose on purpose.
Yeah.
So I've seen it with my own eyes, but I can't believe he's done this to me. So I'm like, nah. He's told me the horses are lame, which means like they're sick. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I've lost 50 grand there. He told me to go and back this other horse. I've had another 30 grand on this other horse. That's lost. I end up having 100 grand. Beat Neil Robinson. He was 9-7 up. He ended up losing 10-9. I was devastated. Um, then I had 20 grand. I just fucked about of it and tried to do some mental bets, and it just didn't really go to plan. But for me, there's been a lot of things in my life which I've done from a young age. So I've learned a lot. And yeah, so yeah, at that moment in time, I lost everything. And I didn't want to go to training. I couldn't afford to go to training. I couldn't afford to go to train. I couldn't afford to do anything. My mum, gym fees. She'd let me use her car because I couldn't afford my own car. Sold my own car because I had a very bad gambling problem. Sold me a watch. So yeah, she's done a lot for me. Even though she is nearly 50, she's getting on now. She's a bit old. Um, she's helped me out massively.
Nah, it's good to see you. It's good to see the relationship on social media as well. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. But yeah, James, I think we're gonna end it there.
perfect.
It was always a pleasure having you on. I feel like you're the best personality we interview every time, every single time. There's always something, there's always a story, and there's always a laugh. So
I
it's always good having you. Yeah,
appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much.
no worries. Okay, so we've been with James Hawley. This has been Combat Feed Media. Please like, follow, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye, guys.